Welcome back to Mind Your Money. So I'm going to be walking you through how we budget our money from day to day throughout the week for the entire month. And I wanted to give you this breakdown based on a request from a viewer who was wondering, how do you budget every day? How do you track your money and expense? In this series, I'll review starting the new budget, okay, and then week by week. So I like to set up a calendar. I like to create top 3 goals for the month and any notes that I need to remember to do. Also, I keep a track of all of our bills as they come in, when they're due, and I put a little check mark once it's paid off. I keep track of our paydays, and so every week whenever a bill is expected to come out, I check my calendar first, and then I take a look at my monthly budget. And when I look at my monthly budget, I want to see what has been paid or what should be paid when, based on the calendar, and then I break it down by paycheck. So within the first paycheck, because for January, for example, this paycheck is scheduled to be for January 6th. We were paid every Friday. And I put, okay, how much is the expected income that we're going to use? And then based on the bills that are due within that first week, again, using my calendar in conjunction with my monthly budget, that will let me know what do I need to pay. I always believe that it's important to give first and then save for yourself. Giving is just a foundational principle. So maybe that's not something that is a priority for you, but this is just an example of how you can track your expenses, how you can review your spending, how you can make sure your paychecks are being used in relation to what your monthly budget is. It's really simple. It doesn't take more than 10 minutes to say, okay, let me look at what bills I have due. And once I know I've taken care of those bills, I need to make sure I'm taking care of my top priorities. For me, that's giving and saving. So we're a month ahead of our expenses. So when I'm saving money, I am saving specifically for next month's bills. And so in this first paycheck, I'm scheduled to save $142 towards our bills for February. And then the emergency fund is a top goal for us that we're trying to get it to $20,000. So any extra money that we can use, we're going to use to put towards that. And then there's also what other categories or buckets, I would like to call them, are most important to you. Start looking at those. After you know, okay, my bills are paid, take care of your top priorities. What extra things do you need to take care of? And then write a note to myself, because like some things always come up. It's just life. And I'll take a stick note, or sometimes I'll write in pencil somewhere on my budget spreadsheet, and say, okay, I need to do this because like there was a family situation that came up. I needed to pull $200 to replace the money that we took from our bills account. So if there's something that happens, your budget might need to change. That's okay. And then the next thing that I like to do is to create a meal plan, and also write down a grocery list. And I'll do that sometime at the beginning of the week. So like on Sunday, when we're resetting for the next week, I'll sit down and write out a grocery list. I'll think of some meals based on what my family likes to eat, and I'll shop my pantry and freezer and refrigerator, and then figure out how much money I'll need to go grocery shopping. So the next day is basically going to be making sure we have a new budget ready for the next week. So every Monday I'll sit down and I'll have a new budget already scheduled to go out, because I need to know by Friday what we're going to do with that money. So when it comes in, we already have a plan for the money that's coming in. We already know what bills need to be paid. We already know how much money we can save. And if we get less than what is expected, or if we have to use less, then at least we know how much is due that week. So having a plan ahead of time. So we'll talk about that in our next segment, and make sure you click the like button, click the subscribe button if you haven't already, with your bell notification on, so you don't miss the next part of this series. Thank you so much for being here today. Remember to mind your money, manage it well, and live your lives abundantly. Bye for now.